Well, said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Good morning. Good morning. Feeling good today on April the 22nd here at 11 o'clock in the morning on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, my friend Matt Jones is sitting here with me in the home studios, and this evening Kristen Johnston all by himself in the ESPN Arkansas headquarters. And it's halftime, and Matt, it's good to see you in person here in the Rock today. What brings you into Central Arkansas, other than just wanting to come out and hang out with me and the cat?
Oh, my goodness. How cool is it today? The weather's perfect. I got to play a little golf yesterday. Doing a thing tomorrow. We'll be at the Clinton Library, so that'll be cool. A little thing with the Little Rock Rangers. And so, yeah, looking forward to it.
This will be fun, man. You're getting up and you're speaking. You're actually moderating, right?
I don't know how much speaking, but it's soccer talk, and you don't let me talk soccer. We have a strict rule when I started this show.
There's
with
rule
Phil that keep the soccer talk to a minimum. Man, they had some great soccer games this weekend. Great race in the Premier League, FA Cup. When you had City and Chelsea, and then you had Coventry versus United the next. I mean, just get it going on. I'll quit talking about it. But there's some soccer going on, and the Little Rock Rangers are a good club, and they've been in the Little Rock area for a while, and they're kind of trying to continue to grow. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to be around your people in that sense.
Hey, I get to learn a lot.
Soccer people.
I'm a novice, but I dig it. Like you think Edward Holling, I think Terrell Owens. You think Kevin De Bruyne, I think
Who?
Exactly.
I know who T.O. is.
He's the Belgian James Bond is Kevin De Bruyne. You can see how these things, how they translate to American athletes. Carrion Trippier, you'll know this one, Troy Polamalu.
Okay.
So if you know soccer, you know who Carrion Trippier is.
Does that mean he's known for his hair?
He's a gangster, dude. He can do everything, runs the wing, but he would be like your free safety, but you could give Polamalu the ball. Trippier can do anything. He's a gangster.
That's great. Well, so, we're going to be here for he's doing the show with me in town for 3 days, here in the home studio for a couple, and then Clinton Library tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be on both sides of the river because you got the game at Dickey Stevens Park where Arkansas plays UAPB in the annual trip to Central Arkansas for baseball. So, yeah, man. I mean, this is actually the first week, and I don't know when, that I don't make a midweek trip to either the fort or to any of the four stations that air our show, or even up in Fayetteville for baseball. So it's kind of nice to be home a little bit.
Is this the last game for the baseball Hogs that will be a midweek road game that they won't be playing at Baum?
Yeah, it's the only one all year, really, too.
Yeah.
Next week you get a couple at home against Missouri State. So, but Florida comes in this weekend, and then you go to Kentucky next weekend. Yeah, this is when the schedule, and I feel like for the baseball schedule, it really just started to pick up. It's not like it ever really gets easy.
Well, if you want to host a super, I mean, you're going to earn it, right? Like there's not going to be that. This is a way for your resume. That's why you come to the University of Arkansas for games like this. You got to be excited about it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, you're in a position now where you'd be either, I think if the season were to end today, you'd be either a 2 or 3 national seed. So you would be playing at home. And you got to do what you got to do in order to ensure that you're in the top 8. 6 games left, 12 games left. Imagine this. So you're towards the end of the season now. I mean, we're way past the halfway point. There are only 12 regular season SEC games left. There are only 15 regular season games left overall, and there's just 8 to be played at Baum Walker. So we're, I guess, in a little bit of countdown mode, because in a month. I think about a month from today, if not a month to the day, they'll be playing their first game in Hoover. Whatever the what is May 22nd as far as the day of the week? Let's get a look. That's a Wednesday. Yep. Yeah, they'll be playing on that Wednesday if things go according to plan the way that they're going right now. So in 1 month, the SEC tournament begins. I don't know if you look at that as the postseason or not. I kind of look at it as a almost like not purgatory or limbo, but just the thing that's in between the two. It's between the regular season and the postseason. But yeah, it's coming to the end, man. Coming to the end. Still just one signee. People are really nervous that there's only one signee for Coach Cal with men's basketball. And I keep thinking to myself, well, Kentucky keeps losing players. Arkansas has lost everything that they're going to lose as far as that's concerned. And I would just preach patience by now, right? He said it would be longer to build the team. And I guess we just sort of expected that once Cal signed to be the Razorback coach, that there would just be a flood of players coming to play for him. But there's obviously interest there. I mean, you've had kids coming, plan visits, making visits. I think there's a visit that's coming up soon. So I don't know. I'm not too nervous about it because I think you're going to end up with a really talented roster one way or the other.
Yeah, there's a saying, they say trust the process. But my question would be, how many out of the top 50 or how many out of the top 100 portal guys have committed to play somewhere? Is it still, if you're getting down and there's 3 guys left in the top 100 that haven't committed, but I don't think that there's been a lot of action, a lot of movement.
No, I know Roach, the guy who did left Duke, the captain for Duke the last couple of years. I know Arkansas was a potential suitor for him, but he's committed to Baylor. Outside of that, I don't know if necessarily other players that Arkansas has targeted have decided to or made their decision one way or the other. So it's still out there, definitely still out there. As far as like a couple of them that you should feel good about, Jaden Quaintance. He visited Louisville. What was it he said on his about his visit to Louisville? He said it was good. It was all right. When somebody just says it was good and it was all right, I think to me that usually means it was okay. See where you go from there. And the crystal balls are coming in about Carter Knox. So I guess it's a matter of whether you believe the crystal balls or not. But hey, last week I thought there'd be more than just Big Z. This week, I still think there'll be more than Big Z.
Does Danny West do basketball or is he just football?
He's just football.
Okay. I was going to say, I bet his head's spinning right now.
RD's head is spinning, yeah, with the Democrat, Richard Davenport.
The whole recruiting window process, tell me when they get here and then we'll talk about them. It's so hard the whole speculation of these kids, where they're going and who. Because Roach is a decent player. I like Roach, man. He's more than a decent player. I mean, Roach is a good player. So that's a good get for Baylor.
Well, I mean, look, when you're a fan and you're paying attention to who's leaving this program or that program, you're going to follow everything that's going on with them, just like the coaches will too. I don't necessarily view it. I view it the same way that you do. I have a sense of who's visiting, and I'm going off of what I'm reading from those experts. That's really all I know by. So somebody had asked the other day, you think this transfer from Rutgers would fit into? Like, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm sure the coaches have a sense of who will fit and who will not.
And you wonder how much of it doesn't it come down to money? What is their number? What is the going rate for a starter? And
hey, we haven't had a basketball coach do the same thing that Matt Rule did. You remember? Put the dollar figure on what it's going to take to have a quarterback in the Big Ten. What was that dollar figure? Was it $1 million? Was it $1.5 million?
That's right. Yeah.
But he threw it out there, and so that's what a lot of people go by. I don't know if I've heard that with basketball. Although the only numbers I know,
1-2 for that kid from Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
Kid that transferred. Oh, that left Arizona, went to Indiana.
1-2 is what his tag was.
Ballo,
yeah, he's a fourth year. I mean, big guy, 6'11" guy. That's a great get. I mean, just an upperclassman that's been through a lot of battles. You think of how young Bay Fall was. Bay Fall is going to be so much better in 4 years. Put some muscle on him. Couple college off seasons, just more reps.
Just check. Now I don't know how it's all working out, but I think Indiana's throwing some money out there for transfers after missing the tournament again. Pretty sure about that. They've got a really good transfer class that's coming in, which includes Ballo, who must have seen a really good dollar figure coming his way to schedule a visit to Arkansas last week. Wasn't that a week ago? I think it was a week ago that we knew that Big Z had committed. Ballo was going to visit. We were thinking, all right, couple of 7-footers on the team. That sounds great. He never even makes the visit to Arkansas. And later on, by the end of the show, Monday, we had gone from, hey, who's going to be the next commit? Oh, look, here's the guy from Arizona, Ballo, that has canceled a visit to Louisville and has scheduled a visit to Arkansas. Then by the end of the show, he's committed to Indiana.
And how much of these kids get offered, let's say 500,000, and then there's like, okay, thank you, and then they're waiting to see, and they tell somebody else, so you kind of know, and they're playing the waiting game, because the kids do kind of have the power right now.
As long as the money's right. I always hear that when it comes to business dealings. Now, as long as the money's right. For guys in the transfer portal too. Maybe that's the way it always was, but now it's legal, but still as opaque as anything else. Monday on a halftime is going to be a lot of fun. Matt and I are looking over the table right at each other, and that doesn't happen too often unless I'm in the studio. This is the second trip you've made into the home studio, right?
Yeah, it was a while ago. So we're going to do another show here Wednesday. Mm-hmm. You've changed it around a little bit. You have the friendly cat.
She's only friendly because she hasn't swiped it or tried to bite your ankles yet. She will.
No, you got it's nice in here.
Got my little jungle over on the side. Smells like I cooked dinner in here last night.
Got
right?
got a little pillow for my back here. I mean, he's taking care of me. I like it.
You could actually put your feet up in that chair. It's not your average studio chair that you're sitting in over here. Mm-hmm. All right, calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. Only one guest with us today. It's Mike Irwin, Pig Trail Nation, in about an hour. And so we can take your calls and your texts if you want to in the next segment. Otherwise, we'll just pet the cat for at least a moment or so. We got baseball, we got basketball to talk about, and the NFL draft approaching later on this week starting Thursday. So lots to get to on halftime, and we are right back.
This is halftime.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline to join the conversation on ESPN Arkansas. 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel has a vehicle to fit both your style and budget. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, you're never too far from a good deal. Visit McClartyDaniel.com to find your next ride. Find your next ride with McClarty Daniel at a price you'll love. Join the conversation on ESPN Arkansas at 877-377-6963.
It's spring cleaning sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Savings from 50 to 75% off on select clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing equipment, casual clothing, hunting clothing, work clothing for men, women, and children, work boots, safety shoes, western boots, all 50 to 75% off. Rods, reels, baits, hunting equipment, all 50 to 75% off. Select group of handguns, rifles, and shotguns in the firearms department at cost or below. Don't miss the big spring cleaning sale at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You have the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Hi, this is Melissa, owner of True Grit Running Company. Now that the weather has cooled down, it is the perfect time to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions. We'll help you start your running journey off right with shoes handpicked just for you, based on how you run. Follow us on Facebook to learn more about our group runs for people of all paces, where we can give you advice and support on your running journey. Let us help you find your True Grit fit at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Face of evil's on the news tonight. We see the darkness over light. But have we ever really lived in better times? Hey, strange. They say we're coming to the end of the line. But is there still a chance to change your mind? Or have all the colors turned to black and white?
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hey, bonus, Matt. I just found an extra lip balm in my computer bag as I was looking for a different one, man. I had two of them in there. I didn't realize because I lost one at South Carolina the other day.
That's a score right there.
No kidding. An extra lip balm, that's like finding $5 in your pocket that you didn't realize were there. A lot of words were said on Saturday, Matt. A lot of words. A lot of baseball was played. And it was a long day, to say the least. You know, so the team got to the ballpark Saturday for, well, it was 1 o'clock game for the opener of the doubleheader. So they got to the ballpark at about 11 o'clock, kind of 2 hours ahead, and they took batting practice inside. 2 games, and then a loss in the first game, a win in the second game, and then back to the hotel to shower, then to the airport. Got back to XNA at 11:30 at night. So it was basically, I guess it was like 13 hours out of the hotel, and then finally back home with a win and a loss, which made it a happy flight and a pretty good week for a team that went 4-1. Last week in 5 really, really tight games. It was stuffy, to say the least, this weekend at South Carolina. I don't know if you saw it, but Hagen Smith's jersey was pretty much stuck to his body while he worked through his 6 innings on Friday. It was 88 to 86 degrees, but it felt a lot hotter than that. And I know David mentioned this after the second game win, and he's speaking with the reporters in the Zoom. You know, when you're on the road for a doubleheader, so they'd played a doubleheader at home against McNeese and swept it. Play a doubleheader at home, you get your own clubhouse, you know, you got air conditioning, you get whatever kind of food you normally have in your clubhouse, which in the Hunt Center, like they have, there's They have
first class
nutritionist and everything. It's they got everything you absolutely need. It's better than being at home. So a doubleheader at home. Look, it's 18 innings to play, but it's not like it used to be. It's not like they're just choking down a hot dog and a Coke and going back out on the field, which is pretty much what you had to do back in the day at George Cole Field.
Well, is the McNeese State, wouldn't that be a 7-inning game too?
No, they played 9-inning double. It was 9 innings.
When it's out of conference, okay.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's a getaway day, they'll do 9 innings as we did on Saturday. But on the road, I mean, first of all, you have a day game. The first game Saturday started at 1 o'clock, 1:02. It was 85 degrees. Look, I mean, it's baseball weather, but it's really hot, and there's nowhere to go between games. I mean, they literally had nowhere to go. There's no visiting clubhouse, no visiting locker room. There's no air conditioning. I mean, you could theoretically start the 2-team buses, get the air conditioning going, and get the guys on there for a little bit. But all they did was sit around and talk and eat a peanut butter and jelly an Uncrustable, which is everybody's PB&J now, I think. Maybe a banana, a smoothie. And then they went out and they had their best road game of the year in the second game on Saturday. 9 runs. It's most they've scored in a road game by far. Had their biggest inning on the road, 5 runs in the 7th inning, a 9-6 win. And I was impressed with what I saw this weekend from a team that, I mean, look, they play games that could go either way all season, but these games about 85% of the time lean towards Arkansas. And I thought they displayed a lot of toughness and grit, especially on Saturday.
Nothing like something like that to bring the team together. You get in there and you kind of settle down a little bit. And you said something that last year the team really enjoyed playing with each other. Does this team, do they like off the field? Do they like hanging out and stuff?
They appear to, yeah. They're really friendly and they all get along. But it kind of reminds me a little of a doubleheader, and it wasn't really a doubleheader. It was my first year doing these games in 2015. Arkansas went on the road and played number 1 Texas A&M. I think this would have been in maybe early April. They were ranked number 1 in the country. Arkansas was unranked, or they might have been on the edges of the top 25, and it started the season in the SEC 1-5, which is really difficult to bounce back from. So they lost the first game of that series. The second game, man, we had some weird stuff go on with weather and lightning, and I can't remember all of the details, but it was just there was a lot of sitting around in the other team's park when your opponent could go into the locker room and get air conditioning and all of that and get away from lightning and wind and storms and everything. And they ended up, like, there was nowhere for the team to sit except in just some, like, room behind the dugout. You had almost everybody there, and they're sitting around just talking, telling stories, listening to Dave Joran tell stories, that kind of thing. And then they go out and they shocked A&M. The next day, we had to suspend the game that was being played. They're trailing at that point. You restart the game the next day, and then there's another 9-inning game to play after that. And they stormed back and they beat A&M in the resumption, and then beat them in the second game. It was a stunning series win, and that team ended up in the College World Series. And it's like the season kind of swung on not just that series or that weekend, but on the team just sitting around, sharing stories, talking when there was nowhere else to go. If they would have walked outside, they would have been rained on. They might have been hit by a lightning bolt. Who knows? There was nowhere for them to go on Saturday because if you walk outside, you're right in the sunshine. And you don't want to be in the sunshine after you'd been in the sunshine for a 3-hour, 9-inning game already.
You go take a nap. We had a game in Tuscaloosa, and we had a rain delay after warm-ups, and so it was about 40. I just went and took a nap. I was like, yeah, we'll play gin or rummy. I don't know if you ever played gin or rummy, but that's a pretty good game. And there's a Laotian game that I learned in high school, the mean streets of Van Buren, and it's called Killer. And it's just like a gin and a rummy game where you put your cards together in runs and suits. Perfect 3-person game for a rain delay.
I had to be taught how to play certain card games on bus trips, but I had a lot of really good beginner's luck playing various forms of poker that I wouldn't even remember how to play now because it's been like 15 years. And I know I told you the story of, like, having all of my meal money taken from me.
That's what you do with your per diem money. Yeah,
the first trip I took with the Travs, I lost all my per diem money on the first bus ride because Brendan Donnelly convinced me to play poker with him, and I had no clue what I was doing. I was trying to just fit in.
That's Matt Damon in Rounders. He's like, if you can't spot the sucker at the table, you are the sucker.
I feel like a sucker right now, too, because Bradford from Van Buren wants to wish a very happy birthday. Yeah, you're smiling right now.
It's Earth Day.
Yeah, it's the Earth's birthday, the same day that it's Matt Jones's birthday as well.
I think it's Amber Heard's birthday today.
No, it isn't. It is not. You can't share a birthday with the actress that you at least say her name once a show.
Well, of course we have. We're in setup. Wait, what's it called in?
Please tell me this is. Oh my God, Matt Jones and Amber Heard actually share a birthday. Are you serious?
That's my girl.
Did you know this? Did you know this up until the whole trial with your boy with Depp? Did you know this? I know people like you, Matt, and you did this to us last year. So I've got to actually put it in my phone. Everything I know is in my phone now. Does my Google Calendar tell me that this is your birthday? No.
See?
Well, I'm just going to burn the Google. Well, you can't burn a Google Calendar.
We almost had it through 2 segments. Could have made it all day.
Yes, everybody, it is Matt Jones's birthday, which makes it better that you're here in the home studio, so nobody can just flood. Nobody knows where I live. I'm not giving out the address. We know where the ESPN Arkansas headquarters are located. So it was going to be an incognito birthday, but I know you knew you weren't going to get away with that. The real newsworthy aspect of this is that you and Amber Heard are only 3 years apart.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I don't know if she's seen anybody now, man, but I'm not sure if you're looking for stability or not. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. I got to go. All right, I got to take a break. There's a Hallmark store down the street. Let's see if I can make it there and back in just a minute. Stay with us.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hitting the road this summer? Do what truck drivers do. Bring plenty of 5-Hour Energy. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get where you're going and do everything you want to do when you get there. It's small, light, and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips... Are we there yet? Safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hello, friends. This is Matt Jones from Halftime. Join myself and Phil Elson as we do the show live from Lumber One in Van Buren, Friday, April 26th from 11 to 2, and we celebrate Customer Appreciation Day. Stop by, grab a dog or a burger, talk Razorback sports, check out Lumber One's new showroom, and let's have a good time. That's this Friday, April 26th, Halftime Live at Lumber One, 3335 Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas, located at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and 416 North 10th Street in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Overhead Door voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Precision Overhead Door.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub and Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Hi there, I'm Sarah, and I just had to share my experience with Mosquito Joe. See, I used to dread spending time outdoors because of those pesky mosquitoes. They would always find me and ruin the fun. I would soak my daughter with bug spray, which hardly ever worked. It was awful. I finally called Mosquito Joe, and wow, it has been quite a game changer. They implemented an eco-friendly mosquito control plan customized especially for my yard. Now I can enjoy my backyard without constantly swatting at bugs and reapplying bug spray every 10 minutes. Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You know, Matt, I share my birthday, January 14th, with some pretty great musicians and actors. Dave Grohl.
Nice.
He and I have a lot in common.
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
Lady loves Cool J.
Carl Weathers.
There you go.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
My kids and I watched Happy Gilmore yesterday, so Chubbs. They were like, wait a minute, haven't I seen him before? Yeah, you have seen him before.
Last picture I saw of the prom king and queen being Travis Kelce had on a Happy Gilmore hat. So maybe he's coming back.
He can wear anything he wants.
That's
truthfully.
true.
Steven Soderbergh shares my birthday. Faye Dunaway, Jason Bateman. I didn't even realize half of these.
Jason Bateman's a G.
Well, not only do you have the one and only Amber Heard as a birthday mate of yours. You're 3 years older. Marshawn Lynch, also born April 22nd, but he was born the same year that Amber Heard was born. So they have the exact same birthday.
That beast mode. I'm trying to think when he got into the league because he was, I think, maybe a JUCO, then went to Cal for 2 years, but getting in the game. Because he went out to Buffalo first. You talk about a dude. I think he's a Hall of Fame running back. Do you think Marshawn Lynch is? I don't know the numbers, but just from what I saw, what I saw him do in Buffalo and Seattle, and even later on, I would put him in the Hall of Fame.
See, 10,000 yards. 5-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. I don't know. Maybe.
He's a board, not a first ballot, but maybe.
Well, but getting to 10,000 yards, what running back is going to make it to 10,000 yards now?
He's tough, man. I'm telling you, he had a prime. I think Fred Taylor should be in, but I'm biased.
You're biased on
I think Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame too, but I think the criteria for a running back, it's kind of maybe a 5 to 7 year window. If you can do it for that long, you can't do it for 17 years like a quarterback. So you kind of got to in the way the game's changed, but they are getting an extra. They're playing 17 games now instead of 12. So
That's
I guess
true.
it's kind of a bad debate to say that they don't have it. They get their touches.
Is that an all right trade though? You're only, what is it? Is it 2 or 3 preseason games now? It used to be 4. There's less. in order to throw the extra game that matters on top of that.
Yeah, 2 to 3. I mean, they're going to get 4 games is too much. You really only need 2. I'd say 1, but at the most, you only need 2 preseason games.
Machine Gun Kelly also has a birthday today.
Couldn't tell you one single thing of his songs, but just like I didn't know anything about Elon Musk until Grimes, I didn't know anything about Machine Gun Kelly until Megan Fox. So, yeah.
Funny how that works, right? I just know he's thin, and yeah, I don't even know if he's got a first name, if it's Machine or a real name.
He's Tommy Lee Jones. Like if you put him in eras, take Tommy Lee Jones 20 years later, that's Machine, right? Like I don't know, but I don't know a Tommy Lee Jones song either.
Oh no, you mean Tommy Lee from
Motley Crue?
From Motley Crue.
Yeah, that's Machine Gun.
I thought you were talking Tommy Lee Jones, the actor.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I would not have put him in the same category as Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
With Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. Same kind of, they're dynamic person. Same type of thing.
A little bit. That's right. Although there's extra things about Tommy Lee that I don't really want to know necessarily about Machine Gun Kelly. We'll just leave that part off the table.
I think they both wear dresses from time to time. So.
Well, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. There's no dress. My daughter doesn't even have dresses here. All right, she doesn't wear those. She's into the sweatpants and the sweatshirts and the baggy loose clothing. I'm pretty sure Machine Gun Kelly might not be into that. 877-377-6963 on our McClarty Daniel hotline. So all these people sending in who they share their birthdays with. That has nothing to do with today.
I love it.
Dan shares his birthday with Vin Diesel and Hunter S. Thompson.
There you go.
Like if you share a birthday with Hunter S. Thompson, there might actually be something about horoscopes that I could believe then.
You have to at least read the book then too of Fear and Loathing. Like you've watched the movie, you probably have a DVD copy, and you've read the book if you share his birthday.
I think I read that book at age 14.
Explains a lot.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't get into any of that stuff then. I remember reading this. I'm like, what is mescaline?
Still don't know. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. All this from just realizing that Matt Jones has a birthday today and he was going to hide it from everybody. So it's all right. You've spoken with Mom yet? Spoken with Paul?
Everybody. Everybody.
You got to get those out of the way in the morning.
Yeah. That's everybody's doing well. So yeah.
Well, they're just making sure you're doing well too, and you definitely are. You definitely are. NFL draft coming up this Thursday, Matt.
What an exciting time, Phil. I still remember it like it's yesterday. I got drafted on the 21st, the day before my birthday. Pretty cool getting the phone call, just the whole process of it. And that's when it really starts. I mean, you're training since you get done with college, you're training and you're doing your thing. But the day you get drafted, you don't, I mean, it goes until I mean, there's always something to do. So it's a great time to be a young college draftee going in, man. And how many Arkansas kids do we got? Do we got any Arkansas kids that are going to get drafted this year?
McLaughlin? Maybe
100% that dude can. He had turf toe. You got to see what his turf toe is like. But if I forgot about McLaughlin. Yes, he can play. Yes, he'll be all right.
Maybe Bo Limmer.
Okay.
Maybe those two. I'm trying to. Maybe Cam Little.
Cam Little. Yes, he will be. I think he gets drafted. He's too valuable to have a kicker. I mean, he could be your kicker for the next 15 years. You think about getting a guy like that. Those are two, McLaughlin and Little. I'd say for sure.
Bears, Commanders, Patriots, Cardinals. Top 4 picks. All of them are in a position where they kind of, Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall. That's been a foregone conclusion. But all of these teams in the top 4, I think theoretically could use to look for a quarterback. Because I don't really know if Kyler Murray is going to be able to make it at his size. So I think the top 4 picks are all going to be quarterbacks unless somebody trades back, which I'm not sure if those teams are necessarily strong enough at certain positions where you would be trading back to begin with anyway. So Chargers, I think, will be the first that don't pick a quarterback because they're looking really good with Justin Herbert. But I can't remember, man, has there ever been a draft where the first 4 picks have been the same position? I can't imagine that it's ever happened before.
Yeah, well, so Vrabels is the Patriots coach. You saw what the Texans did. They went and got their quarterback and a defensive stud last year, and they were able to bounce back in 1 year and look like they're in control of that division now. I think the Patriots could do something similar to that, make another trade, maybe even move back from that pick right there, that third pick. Would not be surprised if they move back and collect a couple more first-round picks.
Bears with 2 top 10 picks, also 9th. You got the Giants
that's
at
a chance
6.
to steal it right there.
That's already a team that's got a little bit of a roster going for them. So
you could get a quarterback and a wideout. I mean, there will be a wideout if you could get Rome Odunze from Washington at 9 somehow. I mean, I don't know if he'll be there, but there's Marvin Harrison Jr., the neighbors from LSU, those 3. I mean, it's a wideout heavy draft.
Draft starts Thursday, 7 o'clock coverage here on ESPN Arkansas and also on ESPN and ABC. Second and third rounds beginning at 6 o'clock on Friday. Rounds 4 through 7 to wrap the draft up start on Saturday, which now that I look at that date, speaking of birthdays, Saturday is my father's birthday. So I didn't make it to the Hallmark store between segments. So after the show, we'll go to the Hallmark store, buy cards. Because it's got to come one from me, one from the kids, one from the cat.
I like it. Happy birthday, Mr. Elson. How many is this for him? Is he in the 70s?
I think this will be 76.
He still pitches, right? I mean, that's pretty cool.
He sure does. He sure does. He actually just wrapped up a run in a stage production in Coral Gables, Florida.
He's staying young. I like it.
Drove all the way back to Pittsburgh. It's like, you know how we joke with Fisherman Clay about retirement? It's like, well, you're pretty busy in retirement. I feel like retirement is more about the ability to choose what it is you do your time with outside of what you used to do with your time, which was work. Now you get to choose the things that you love to do. As long as you're in the right financial position to do that. That's what my dad does. Pitches, plays baseball, auditions for theater roles, and when he gets it, he'll drop whatever it is that's going in order to do that. So, hey, good for him. Brent and Cersei's with us here on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Hey, Brent, what's going on?
What's going on, Phil? I wanted to talk a little bit about this, the Razorback, the Hogs in Columbia, South Carolina this past weekend.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
I tell you what, our team showed great resilience Saturday. Great resilience. Mason Molina, it sounded like on the radio, he just couldn't get comfortable out on the hill. I don't know if that was a fact or fiction. That didn't sound like he was able to grip the ball like he usually does. I don't know. It was just one of those days where he had 7 walks, didn't he? In 3 1/3?
Yeah, and it looked like the only pitch that he might have felt even remotely comfortable with was his changeup. Fastball he had trouble bringing it down into the strike zone. Didn't look like his breaking ball was doing what he wanted. Changeup was okay. It's just that's a tough pitch to pitch off of if that's the only thing that you feel really comfortable with.
But that was just a great bounce back from that, because everything that could go wrong went wrong for us in the second game. Good Brady Tiger came out and had his best performance of the year since Oklahoma State in Arlington. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 6 scoreless against Oklahoma State. 2 runs in 6 innings against Carolina on Saturday in the closer. And look, I mean, the way he pitched had so much to do with Arkansas winning the weekend. You know, they lost the game that he pitched against Oklahoma State through no fault of his own. But he was the second game starter then. As the third game starter, sometimes there's a little more pressure on you because it's a rubber game. And this was the second week in a row that they played a rubber game. And, you know, the week before against Alabama, Brady was good, 5 innings. He was really good, 5 innings, 1 run, but he was better this time around. Just threw a lot of strikes. He had command of everything he threw, and that's not just big for this game, but it's big for the future. Because Brady, if he's got his 3 pitches or 4 pitches and feels comfortable with them, he's really tough to hit, and that was the case on Saturday.
I did not realize that Petrie was. You there?
Yep, we're here.
Petrie out there, right fielder. He's 1 for 22 versus the Razorbacks in his career.
That's right. That's right. But something like 12 or 13 strikeouts. So, and he was one of the best freshmen in the country last year and had a miserable weekend in Fayetteville. And this year he is just as productive as the year before. And let's see, he finished the weekend 0 for 12. They really have a sense of how to pitch to him.
We've got him figured out. He's probably saying, I need to hit the portal where I don't have to face those guys or let me go play for them. One of the two. So, all right, y'all have a great day.
All right, thank you very much, Brent. Well, I know I'm expecting Carolina's not on the schedule next year because it's 2 years in a row that Arkansas has played them, and now they've won 4 straight series from him. Time for one more call during this segment, and it is Eduardo, the Sherpa, who right now, since the Hogs had a winning weekend and went 4-1 last week, Eddie, I'm picturing you're making this phone call from right at the top on Petit Jean Mountain overlooking the river and screaming at the top of your lungs. Is that where you are?
That's where I'm at, sir. More importantly, I hear the Gators chopping, and they're coming in to bomb stadium. Just like Tigers, the Gators, they have fancy appetites. And so I know that they'll come in hungry and bomb. So I think we should be gracious and feed them Mick Bowl a pitching of that mojo of Mr. Feed them Friday night, a big bowl of Hagen Smith, And so that's been our MO all year. Ride Hagen Smith, and then we find a way to win the series. And that's what it's all about. Finding a way to win in the heavyweight division in America. And so they're all good. As you just see, Alabama beat A&M. And so Alabama's very good at home. So, that loss there, nothing to be ashamed of, So they're going to be in a regional if they don't host a regional. So, this is great. I'm enjoying the ride. And so, that it's all about the ride. Whether it's on the football home train, the basketball home train, and right now, what about the Ladybacks? Big win for them this weekend. And I just, the train, on the only side I can think of, train kept it rolling.
Got a heck of a lot to celebrate, Eduardo. Yeah, the train is still on the tracks. There's more coal being shoveled into the engine oven right now, and I don't know if it's you shoveling in there, or if it's Dave, or it's somebody else with a Razorback conductor hat on. Yeah, no doubt. That's a good call. I like that he said that he's enjoying the ride, because sometimes, and I should not be going just by what I see on social media, but it is a reflection of how people that might not be on social media feel about things. And every once in a while, it feels like some people forget that the team is 34-6 and might struggle to score sometimes. But if you think you're frustrated with how the Razorback bats get swung sometimes, how do you think the opposing coaches feel? They feel even worse, much worse, because it's the Arkansas pitching staff and those hitters that might struggle at the plate every once in a while who are making plays in the field that make them feel like that. And then seeing them score 5 runs in the 7th inning of the second game Saturday when they needed that, look, does it mean they're going to start scoring 9 runs a game on the road? I don't know. But it shows that it's there, and there were 2 games this week that they needed more than 7 runs to score, and they won. This team can win a high-scoring game. I don't think there's a doubt about that. All right, more calls and texts when we come back on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. We got a caller on hold. We'll get to that in just a moment and wrap up hour number 1.
This is halftime.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
Your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. ColorWorks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Space of my life in a foreign land. Came home to my young wife at a different land. Saw 1575 right on the ground. Just won't let go my thumb, lay your body down.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
I got a short segment. We'll go right to the McClarty Daniel hotline. And thank you, Brian in Ozark, for waiting through that commercial break. Brian, how you doing today, man? What's up?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. First, I'd like to say happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you.
Second of all, I was just curious, what was your 40 time in college?
At Fayetteville, I believe Danny Nutt had me at a 4.41 or a 4.42. I believe when the 40 I timed was I was a senior in high school. You know, that was the 40 I timed before. Well, I didn't time 40s once we got up there.
Okay. I was just curious. I mean, with the draft coming up, I mean, I'm trying to gauge where, like Xavier Worth might get drafted. So he had that 4-1 and
the dude from South Carolina?
No, the dude from Texas.
Oh, I thought you said Xavier Leggett. I didn't know who you said. I couldn't hear what you said. Yeah. Oh.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
He broke everybody's record. So, I mean, how does that help him in the draft? I mean, does that put him in the first round, you think?
Do you remember A-Chain last year from A&M? He was a speedster, and where'd he go? The third round, I think, to the Dolphins. Somewhere around there, maybe.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I mean, because watching this spring game last Saturday, it's kind of crazy that you see a team that has 8 guys that are all running 4.2, 4.4 40s. Is that pretty unusual?
Coach Nutt had it, man. We had some speed guys. We had a lot of guys that ran track. You had Lawrence Richardson. You had Eddie Jackson. You had Ahmad Carroll. You had Cedric Cobbs, Fred Talley. Those are all 4.3 guys.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to get your input.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. That's one thing I keep saying, man. You got to have some speed in the SEC if you're going to win. You got to have 7, 8, 9 guys that run sub 4.4.
Also, remember, all things being equal, if Brian asks about a player, it's going to be about the Texas Longhorn.
I just didn't. I thought he said it exactly because I like that receiver from South. That's a guy that I would take number 9 when you're talking about the Bears taking Caleb Williams, and he's going to be a horse at the next level.
Calls and texts coming in on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. It's halftime. We're into the second hour, and we'll be right back.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, after a cold start, we will rebound under sunny skies into the upper 60s to near 70. Not quite as chilly tonight. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 40s, and we may see a stray shower, especially across the north on Tuesday. Otherwise, sunny, breezy, upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. 12:01 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, my friend Matt Jones in the home studio with me, and the C Unit Christian Johnston is producing back at our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. Calls and texts coming in at 877-377-6963. We are taking your birthday wishes for Matt Jones. You thought he would get in and out without anybody knowing, but somebody texted in.
Close.
You had actually mentioned something about it a couple of weeks ago. I had just forgotten.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's Earth Day. It's a good day, man. Got to play golf yesterday. Got to see some buddies. It was fun. Get to see you today. Get to see you the next 2 days. So we'll have a good time.
That's a birthday present in and of itself.
That's right.
Gonna hang out with me for a little bit. So, and talking to Brian in Ozark too. That's always going to be a good birthday present.
Thank you for the wishes, Brian.
Absolutely. Yeah. So birthday wishes, whatever else that goes along with that, and calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline.
Was that the kid, the speed demon, the Texas kid that fumbled a couple times in the bowl game? Is that the word? Is that who he's talking about? I wonder. Well, no, not to be funny, but that kid can go. He really can. He's a good player. You have to think he's going to fix those issues as far as fumbling the ball. That's just so. Yeah, I mean, I like him. He reminds me of A-Chain if it's that kid, because you get him in space. That's why I thought, and A-Chain went to the best place possible. That's what Miami wants to do. So you fit around teams like that like to play that no huddle, hurry up. Get to the line and get those guys in space. Tua has the quickest release. I mean, he gets the ball. It's Drew Brees-like as far as how quick he gets the ball out of his hands.
They're talking about Worthy as being a back of the first round kind of a guy.
Okay, so yeah.
It's a pretty good place to be if you're going to be a wide receiver, right?
So he's a receiver and A-Chain's a running back too. So it's a couple different things. So okay, I see.
But still, all right. So let's say, I don't know, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is the first receiver taken off the board, or if it's Malik Neighbors. You're going to have to hope that you get drafted by the Chargers instead of the Giants, right? I mean,
I would want to go to San Diego. I don't want to go to the Chargers over the Giants. Absolutely. John Harbaugh's a winner everywhere he goes. You got a young quarterback. I think Brock Bowers is the guy. I wouldn't be surprised. John Harbaugh loves tight ends. Masterclass using the tight end. Even back in his Stanford days, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go there if he's still there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about Malik Neighbors. There's a lot about Marvin Harrison Jr. But, yeah, Bowers does feel – if you talk about speed from that position, his speed is a game changer at that position. It was in college. It ought to translate into the NFL too.
He might be the number one guy that's a non-quarterback that you think that's a can't miss, kind of like Jalen Carter was, the D tackle. I do like the offensive tackle from Notre Dame, but yeah, Brock Bowers is kind of like, man, he's going to be a player if he stays healthy in this league, 8, 9, 10-year career for sure.
Well, why wouldn't he be the first non-quarterback that goes off the board? Why is it going to be a receiver?
I think it's a wins above replacement type deal. How they look at
tackle.
How they look at things. What do we need? What is the value? Is there somebody else? Is he that much better? That's my thing, Phil. Is he that much better than everybody else at that position? Then I think if there is that big of a gap, you got to take him.
Thank you, Chris. The San Diego Chargers of Los Angeles. Sounds about right. There was a text in earlier here. TC asked you, what's the week or 2 weeks after being drafted like? You know, I mean, do you immediately, when do you report for the first time? When do you start meetings? Or is there a little bit of a buffer? Because you've been putting all this time in to preparing for the draft and all your meetings and having to be at the combine and the workouts that go along with it. It's not like this just stops all of a sudden because you got to be in the same shape once mini camps.
I did not get a day off until we got back from Foxborough. We made the playoffs my rookie year and ended up going up to New England and took an L to Tom Brady. I believe it was the year it was Seattle and was it Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl and Pittsburgh beat Seattle? Was that one of their wins?
That was the 2005 season.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that would have been the year. You didn't get a day off until exit meetings 2 days after you got back. That was my first day. I mean, once you get drafted, it's you go. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, you got to sign your contract first, then you go.
Didn't sign a contract till camp.
Really?
You kind of go. I mean, you do sign a contract of working out, and there's something. But as far as your contract, you get it signed. I don't know, the week before camp or something is kind of you'll see it. You'll see it when it happens. But a lot of times they don't sign their contract for a while.
It's got to all just feels like it happens so fast.
It does. You don't have time to think. It's just next day you're doing something every single day, and your schedule's planned for you. They give you itinerary, like you were going over your itinerary for Tuesday's game. You have an itinerary every day, where to be, what to do.
Think about, the NBA draft isn't all that far off. NFL draft, of course, starting on Thursday. These are all drafts that take place during the off season, right? So, I mean, you don't have guys that are playing or going to play somewhere. Even with baseball is the one that stands apart, that has its draft. Well, it used to be right around the time the College World Series would start. And so you would have guys who find that they get drafted while they're in the on-deck circle. Now it's been pushed a month back, and a lot of really there's numerous things that go along with that. One, you get coaches that have issues putting a team together because of the month differential between last year's draft, or the old draft, and this one. And then there's guys that are going to play summer ball somewhere, and they're waiting to get drafted, and immediately you get drafted and you go sign your contract and you go to wherever it is that they're going to send you, right? I mean, it's like you go play almost immediately. In some cases, you go right to the minor league city and you make your pro debut in, it used to be like Johnson City, Tennessee, or Helena, Montana, or, Bristol, Tennessee, someplace like that. Now, I assume they're sending you more to the complexes where the spring training sites are and have a little bit of acclimation to, hey, these are going to be your new teammates and everything, and these are your coaches. But you don't have all that much time, It's like you go start playing games immediately. So
it's kind of like you have rookie camp, and then you'll have veteran camp. Same thing, what you're talking about. They get you in there, and maybe the third string. I tell you, the first string quarterback takes every rep that they want to take at practice. So who takes the rookie camp? If you didn't draft a quarterback, one of the third string or second string gets to go up there and takes the reps, because you don't get to take a lot of reps if you're not the first string quarterback. You definitely need to stay in college and get some reps there.
Take a phone call from JR in Shady Grove. He's on the McClarty Daniel hotline right now. Hey, JR, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Hey, Phil. Matt, happy birthday to you.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, Phil, the other night, Friday night, during the baseball game, I noticed South Carolina was getting really upset with some of the calls. Most of the time this year, I mean, it seems like if that strike zone is, wide or short or whatever you want, narrow, whatever you want to call it, it seems like it's been consistently called by both teams. Did you understand why South Carolina was getting so upset with how that was being called?
Well, I think if I don't have like the actual percentages for one team or the other, but I thought it was a strike zone that was consistently called poorly both ways. I saw pitches that Hagen Smith threw that should have been easy strikes in the top of the zone, and I had TrackMan up for the road game for the first time, and it didn't get called a strike, but he got some pitches that were 2 or 3 inches off the plate that were a strike. So I saw it both ways, and I think that Carolina's frustration had to do with, yes, the strike zone was part of it, but it also was just trying to hit against the Arkansas pitching staff, and at the same time feeling that you're not just trying to hit against those pitchers, but you're also trying to hit against the umpire. And they were trailing at that moment. If they were leading at that moment, the frustration doesn't bubble over the way that it did. So I thought Friday's strike zone was abominable, but I don't think that it really favored one team or the other, because look, I mean, does Hagen Smith need help from umpires to dominate somebody? No. Was the umpire the reason that he dominated Friday? Not at all. No, because he had pitches that should have been strikes that were not called strikes. So I just think it's frustration. You get frustrated when you hit against this team. You get frustrated when you hit against Hagen Smith or against Gabe Gackle or against Stone Hewlett. And I think that's what it had to do with more than anything else. Yeah, and the other thing is that there were 2 arguments that Kingston came out for. He had an argument, I think it was the 6th, the 7th inning, and I think he should have been run then. He should probably been thrown out earlier in that game, but he didn't. And so the second time he comes out, I mean, that was it. The moment he stepped out of the dugout, he had one thought in mind, and it was to get the thumb. And then for the rest of that game, what that also did is it's not really a cool thing, because it gives those players in that dugout, they feel that they have license to argue with the umpire too. And then the associate coach that takes over as the head coach, he should have been thrown out. He stepped out of the dugout to shout at the umpire about this call or that call, just moments after his manager or his head coach got thrown out. So I just think it made their frustration bubble over, and they were lucky they didn't have 2 or 3 more ejections, to be quite honest. All right, we got a break. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation coming up in just a little bit. We just talked about the NFL draft. Twin Peaks is on the clock. That's a great place to catch all the NFL draft action at the Ultimate Sports Lodge, round 1, 7 o'clock on Thursday. And hey, it's a great place to watch anything going on in sports with the NBA playoffs, Arkansas baseball this weekend as well. Twin Peaks and Rogers is your sports headquarters, featuring 29-degree draft beer made from scratch, fan favorites, and sports blasting from every angle. You can get delivery or pick up to go online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. Joined by Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation, next on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Broyle says, I'm going to take a nap. So he leans back and takes a nap, and his phone rings, and I don't know what to do. Do I wake him up? What do I do? So I didn't do anything. And then Coach Broyles woke up, called him back. I mean, he threw me under the bus.
My driver didn't wake me up.
Right there in the car. I didn't even have a name.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Regardless of one's age, there's a living heritage, experiences, and memories to share. Show how much you care by remembering elderly family members, friends, or neighbors by helping with chores, shopping, or a simple visit. Learn about life from the most experienced people in the world and make a difference in their everyday lives. This message is courtesy of our good friends at Paris Health and Rehab, 1414 South Elm Street in Paris, Arkansas. Contact Administrator Sarah for a tour today. She and her staff care about our seniors.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. You need the Lindbergh team, home of Arkansas's only instant offer program. Get a cash offer on your home in only 72 hours. Lindbergh Real Estate Group is the #1 team in Arkansas with over $1 billion sold and voted best of the best 10 years in a row, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and now the River Valley. Find out more at lindberghteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Sportsman's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Stuff at the sea. I won't see you leave. With the sample from side. Go to the rising light. Moving for tomorrow's show.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I just saw an update on former Arkansas basketball player Saylor Poffenbarger. She's going to transfer to Maryland. Which makes sense. She's from Middletown, Maryland, and will be returning home for, I guess it'll be your last 2 years of college basketball. Mike Irwin's with us. He's on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, of course, from Pig Trail Nation. Always appreciate his time. Mike, just saw where Saylor's going to head, and I guess everybody's kind of waiting on pins and needles to find out who's going to be the second commit for John Calipari.
Carter Knox is supposed to be in Fayetteville on a visit, but I haven't heard anything so far this morning. He's a former five-star signee who got out of his LOI, and some say there are as many as 4 other Kentucky players or signees that are rumored to be coming to Fayetteville. If that's true, you're still going to need 7 other guys to fill up the roster. I mean, guys, I'm just telling you, and I know fans are excited because the word is they've got NIL money now, and they're in a position to get some good players. But I want you to stop and consider that supposedly by the time this basketball portal period ends, there's going to be 2,000 players in the portal. That's about 40% of all scholarship guys. And if this doesn't get addressed at some point, you're going to see this turnover every single year. I mean, you got Duke, who went to the Final Four and has now had 7 players hit the portal. And it's obviously what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, players are just going, hey, I can get money. I'm going. And now word is that I saw where the Division I committee of the NCAA, this unlimited transfer thing was supposed to go away. Now they've recommended that as long as you're eligible, you can transfer as many times as you want. They're all scared of court action. But everything's about the athletes and what the athletes make and what the athletes want to be able to do, and they're not taking into consideration what fans want. And fans do not want a brand new team bought and paid for every year, come in and play a year and then leave, and more guys come in. You just can't keep up with it. It would be worse than minor league baseball trying to watch what's going on with the Naturals, which I always had trouble trying to keep up with because there's so much movement there.
Well, that movement would occur during the season. I mean, I used to put the roster together for the Travelers and had to stay on top of all of the players. Heck, we had a year where there was over one roster move per game. But this offseason stuff is kind of wild. The number you just said, I just did a little math. If there are 2,000, what was it, 2,000 or 3,000 in the portal?
2,000? They're estimating to 2,000 by the time it's over.
If you go by 13 scholarships per team, you could make 154 basketball teams just off the players that are in the portal. My gosh.
Again, it was estimated that's 40% of all guys on scholarship. And it's just, again, I know Razorback fans are excited. Who's Cal going to bring in? He's got some money to spend and all that stuff. But do you really want to do this every year? Do you just want a team put together based on how much you can outbid everybody? It's just crazy. And I'm not against athletes getting paid some, but this thing it's all a result of the NCAA they went after 3 football schools for violations on buying players with NIL money, and they served notice, we're going to hit you with sanctions. And they got a lawyer and filed a lawsuit and then got a restraining order against the NCAA to prevent it from upholding it from enforcing its own rule on NIL, and that's just opened the floodgates. And until that gets decided or they come up with another answer, this is what we're stuck with. And I'm telling you, it's not even this crazy. In the NFL, it's much more stable. You've got a draft. You draft players. They don't leave unless you want them to leave. You've got a salary cap. This is just wild, wild west, whatever you want to do.
It is. It does seem like rent a player. Both sides can get out of it at any time. And when I heard that 7 players were leaving Duke, that just didn't make any sense. Like, something does have to be fixed. I don't know what the solution is. If you go somewhere, if you have to sign a 3-year deal, 4-year deal, or go back to where I'm all in favor, Mike, of a one-time free transfer. One time. That's what you get.
And that's what we were supposedly going back to in July. But now, I don't know why the Division I committee recommended this for approval. It's still got to be approved by the entire NCAA. The only thing I can think of is they're afraid if they don't do something, they're going to get sued again, because that's what's happening.
Well,
the people that are representing the athletes are filing lawsuits saying we got to have our rights. We got to have rights to do this and this and that and this, and nobody's asking the fans about their rights.
I feel like it's a next step that the NCAA can take to whomever they're speaking to on Capitol Hill and say, look, we had to do this. Otherwise, we were going to have to go to court again, and we were going to lose. So
right.
it's like it's another plea without pleading to senators or whomever, that you're trying to work in some sort of framework for antitrust legislation for the NCAA, which nobody's interested right now, I think, in that actually passing on Capitol Hill. So this right now to me seems like it's the system that you have at least for a year or two more.
The possible solution, the best one I've seen, was proposed by the NCAA president about 6 months ago, and that's the super division of about 70 to 80 teams. And what each team in this super division would have to agree to do is provide about $15 million in NIL money for a collective where all 440 or 50 athletes that you have would get the same amount of money. Now, you could still come in after you're recruited and get you an agent if you're a quarterback or somebody that's high profile and work out your own deal. But this would give everybody some money, and it would settle this thing down. And I think there's some rules they could come up with on transfer that the athletes would have to agree to it. But I think if everybody's getting money, some money, they're going to be happier and they're going to be more likely to go, okay, we're satisfied with this transfer arrangement, whatever it works out to be. So that's, and guys, the one that was leaked out, and it was just a group, it wasn't the NCAA, it was a group of people involved in college athletics behind the scene that was coming up with a proposal. But I don't know if you guys saw the screenshot on these proposed conferences. I loved it because it took regional needs into consideration. So, for instance, teams were grouped where they could play close to each other, and the one they had Arkansas in was, in effect, the old Southwest Conference, but adding Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and taking out Rice. And you think about the travel arrangements would be better for the athletes. You're not sending somebody halfway across the country on a volleyball team to play and then come back and have to be at class the next day. So the travel is better for the athletes, but it's also better for the fans.
I read about that group, Mike. I read about it, and I think it's a really interesting idea, but those folks are trying to get certain people at the table to talk to them, and it doesn't sound like Greg Sankey is one of them right now. And if you're going to get something like this passed, then it does not happen without both the SEC and the Big Ten being fully on board, because they right now are the pilots that drive college sports.
That's right. The opposition to it is that everybody's saying the SEC and the Big Ten have all the power. Why should they allow all these other schools to benefit too? And so will they be selfish and not do what's best for all of college athletics? I don't know. But even so, you still have to do something, in my opinion, to solve this problem of people just jumping up and traveling halfway across the country. This doesn't make any sense. And what they're doing when they eliminate fans being able to go to games, you're just driving them to television. So you're driving away your live gate, which makes no sense to me. I would think Arkansas, now, with OU coming into the SEC, I still think Oklahoma State belongs in some way or somehow. That would be a great travel arrangement back and forth between Arkansas and those two teams. Much better than, people would much rather go over there than go up to Missouri, every other year. So any way to make this happen, I'm in favor of. But something's got to be done to tie all this in to solving the NIL and unlimited transfer problem.
Hey, Mike, the NBA playoffs got underway, and all 8 teams, home teams, won their first game. It hasn't happened since 2013. I saw Dame Lillard. He went out there, no Giannis against the Pacers, went out there and scored 35 points in the first half and 0 in the second half and played. I wonder what the record is for that right there. But I still got the Celtics and the Nuggets in the finals. Mike, will you be watching any of the NBA playoffs? Who do you got?
Not really. I mean, I got so much. I am so snowed under with baseball right now, guys. I'm a baseball nut right now. College baseball. I'm watching every game on ESPN3 that I can watch. And this baseball season is, golly, has it gotten tight. Tennessee's now moved up. I think Tennessee and Kentucky swapped, but you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's coming down, guys. Arkansas might get a break this weekend with Florida because their pitching's not good, but after that, you're talking about facing 3 teams in Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Texas A&M, 3 of the 5 top ERAs in the league, plus those teams can all hit. Ooh, man, this is going to be tough.
Well, they had a 4-1 week. Arkansas baseball did 5 tight games. And look, this midweek series against Texas Tech is not your average midweek series. I think that's a good Red Raiders team, especially when they play at home. I was impressed with how Arkansas played against the Red Raiders, But a 4-1 week with 2 of those victories coming on the road against a good Carolina team. But you're right. I mean, the schedule definitely has an uptick coming up, and Florida might be struggling now, but they're the only team that's beaten Texas A&M 2 out of 3 this year. So there's
an unpredictability to all this. But here's the thing, guys. The 9 runs that they scored in Game 3 against South Carolina, okay, that's good. But they went through a stretch before that game where they were 1-3, and they had averaged 2 runs a game in that stretch, and it was starting to look really dicey. And then they come back, so now things look a little better. I don't know if they figured something out. I don't know if they just got lucky. I've never figured out hitting. It just comes and goes. I'm sure there's a science behind it, and I'm sure DVH and Nate Thompson are working behind the scenes to solve some of these problems. But the fact of the matter is, it's runs scored that's a problem, because last time I checked, they were 12th out of 14 teams in runs scored, and I don't think that's sustainable, even with really good pitching. And they've got some bullpen problems that have popped up in the last few games. McIntyre in particular has had some issues. Now, I think they backed him up real well, but I'd like to see him pitching better. It's just, you can always get nervous about this stuff. I keep thinking about the year that Ole Miss won it all, and they finished 5th in the league, and everybody was complaining they didn't think they should even get in, or finish 5th in the West, tied for 8th overall. And then they get in and win the College World Series. So it really is about how you're playing once postseason begins.
You never quite know. With it, so much of it is also the draw that you get, what your regional looks like. Hogs ran into a buzzsaw with TCU last year, and the year before they were the buzzsaw, but they weren't playing well going into the postseason. So it's like you try to make sense of this sport,
exactly.
And you're going to be shown reason why you really can't. Gackle has turned into their most important reliever.
Yeah,
as good as McIntyre's
absolutely.
been, Gackle is incredible. 0 for 17 with runners on base and 2 outs. If there's one thing I want from a pitcher in relief to be able to do, it's pitch with men on base, and he's so good. As a freshman, inheriting runners, and I don't think his pulse ever elevates. He is just as calm as ever.
Yeah, and you keep thinking Gage Wood. I mean, at times this guy's amazing, but he's just there's a little bit of last year still in him. Got a little dicey there at the end of, I think it was Game 3, but, he came through. But, again, I just think Arkansas has put so much pressure on these pitchers all year long, and you just at some point, I was sitting there thinking to myself, when they got that 7-2 lead, I'm thinking 7-run lead. It was 9-2, 7-run lead, and I'm thinking finally you can relax. No, you can't relax. This team doesn't play that way. You're going to be sitting there sweating it out till the very end. That's just the way they are.
Hey, Matt, this has to be the last thing. I will bet you that our guest here, Mike Irwin, would be the same as you, that he does the stealth birthday. Doesn't warn anybody leading up to it. Mike, if you're not aware, today is Matt Jones's birthday. I didn't even know until someone texted in telling us 25 minutes into the show, because Matt is a stealth birthday celebration. Are you the same way?
Well, especially at my age. I don't want people to know how old I am. They might kick me out of TV, and then I have to go retire. So no, I don't do the birthday thing. My immediate family, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, they do. I don't talk about it other than that.
Sounds about right. That's about what I thought. Mike, appreciate you hopping on with us as always. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
It's Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. If you want to react, our McClarty Daniel hotline's open for you right now, 877-377-6963. If you're making your plans to get out on the lake very soon, well, you might want to have the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue with you. If you're looking to catch the trophy brown trout on the Mighty White, and you're looking for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, well, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them for you with that famous rolling action. It's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. The Rogue suspends, it's in the strike zone longer, and you can catch more fish. Although if Mark Winters is the umpire, he's not going to see it's in the strike zone. It's available at learnet.com and tackle stores all over the place. Stay with Halftime. We're right back in a moment.
This is halftime.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite.
Hey guys, call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
It's not Cake, right? That I was listening to. That sound. Every time I hear that song, it sounds like Cake, but it's not.
Rock and Roll Lifestyle. Yeah, that's a good album though. That's fun.
Got some callers lined up. It's halftime here. We got the McClarty Daniel hotline open for you, 877-377-6963. Cecil. Hey, Cecil, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm great, fellas. I'm great. Having a great day. Feeling good. I want to wish my natural homeboy over there a happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
I already know how old he is, so I ain't going to let everybody know that unless we want them to know it. But, hey, I want to sing happy birthday. Me and my son is in here. But we don't have enough time for that because I got some stuff to say. Okay.
You made me nervous there the way you said that, Cecil. What do you got to say?
No, it's all good stuff. It's all love. Okay. I just heard Mike. I've been knowing Mike since I was in high school. When I was at Northside, Mike was right here in Portsmouth doing the sports. I've been knowing that man forever. He's a great man. And y'all was talking about the portal and stuff like that. My opinion ain't worth a thin dime, but I do have one. So I'm gonna express it right now on the air, on my favorite show. Now, for these guys in this transfers and the portals, it's all about the dollar bill now. So this is basically the baby NBA. The college portal has taken over the G League. They folded. Am I correct?
The G League is still around? Sure. No, it's still there.
Ignite folded. One of them folded.
Oh, yeah. So one of the teams in the G League. Yes. I don't know which one.
Right. So, well, anyway, they'll probably be folding, period, anyway, because the college is making all this money. And it's all about the money now. So y'all said about the 7 Duke players was on the portal because it's all about the money. Now, as far as keeping the players, this is my idea of it. And I think it'll work, too. And if anybody want to donate, they can cash at me. Anyway, hey, that was funny, wasn't it? I'm dead serious, y'all. Hey,
no giving Cash App. No giving Cash App or Venmo info on the air, okay?
Hey. A lot of people know who I am, so if y'all love me more. Okay, here we go. So what I would do, Phil and Matt, this is what I would do. You know how they jump in and jump out what is it? 1 year, 1 day, whatever. One day wonder, 1 year wonder, whatever. So if you get Matt, for instance, I'm your agent, Matt, and Phil, you the coach. Okay, so we around the round table. We're negotiating this signing deal here. Okay, so in order to keep this player, because man, I really want to keep you, man. You're great. I think we could do great with you for 2 years. We could do great 3 years, or we could do great 4 years. It just depends. You're gonna be making money, and probably more than the NBA if you're that good. So sign a contract, a 2 to 3 year to 4 year contract, and that's how you get paid. Don't that make sense?
I think Cecil, to your point, I think they messed up when they're letting them be independent contractors with 1 year only deals. I do think there needs to be some type of stability If you sign a contract and you're saying you're going to be a student of this institution, which they don't really take the student part into effect anymore, and you say you're going to go play for this coach, then you're there. Now, if your coach leaves and you got your grades up to date, you get a one free time transfer. But if your coach that gets you comes in and you're there, then that should be the rules like they used to be. But that's never going to happen.
I think a lot of this has to do with how they're what word do you use to define these people? If they're students, you can't force people to stay on campus. But as students, that's their own choice to go where it is they're going to go. When it comes to being an employee, now if you're an employee, well then there's a different set of expectations go along with that, which also goes along with the thought that the employer deserves some stability as long as the same as the employee does, the employer and the employee. So much of this has to do with what are these athletes going to be viewed as outside of the athletes? Are you students or are you workers? If you're workers, if you're employees, yeah, I think contracts come into play. If you're students first, which people throw around the idea, yeah, they're not students, laughing about that and everything, but for now, that's still how they're viewed.
I wonder how many of these 7 kids go back to Duke, but it only makes sense, Phil. I think if you're the agent and you're talking to the player, every single time the portal opens, you would enter it just to test the waters to see what somebody offers you. Like it only makes sense. So I wonder if any Arkansas kids come back, and I wonder how many of these 2,000 kids that get in the portal go back to the same institution they were at.
Greg in Farmington, thanks for the call, and you're next up on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. What's up, Greg?
Hey. First off, all the NCAA needs to grow a big set of stones and remind the conferences and all this stuff that they're still the ones in charge. As far as Mr. Matt Jones, I just got one thing to say. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, boy.
Happy birthday to you. Don't pull an Amber Heard. Happy birthday to you.
Simpatico.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow, that was there was a whole bunch of unexpected going on there.
I like it. I like it. Thank you.
With Greg in Farmington.
Yeah.
That
was neat.
I almost forgot the first thing he said, which I was going to react to, and thought, you know what? The NCAA, if it's a matter of a pair of stones, and the idea that you're going to lose every single lawsuit that is against you, these are two different things.
They haven't won a lawsuit since Maurice Claret. I think now he was so ahead of his time. I'm surprised you don't have a running back. If I was the NFL, if I'm a college running back which I guess you're getting money now from the NIL deal, go. I mean, and the NFL has something to do about that, so to speak, because they're the ones, as far as the NCAA growing the stones, the NFL's the one that set the rules. The NCAA didn't set the rules that you could go. They've set the rules saying you have to be this age so many years removed from high school.
And it also came after antitrust suit against them with the NFL could battle back against, and there's too much going against the NCAA. That was one lawsuit against the NFL. There's like 7 or 8 against the NCAA. It's too late for stones, unfortunately. Big Keith in Hot Springs, you get to take us into the break. Big Keith, how you doing today?
Big Keith. All right, Big Keith up in the house. How you guys doing? How you doing, Phil? How you doing, Matt?
Feeling good, thank you.
Long time no talk to you, Matt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, I want to give a shout out to all your callers today and just give them a word of advice. Get back on the meds. You know, they're coming up with some crazy stuff over here. We're talking about baseball now, and I want to talk about baseball a little bit. I'm not surprised the way the team's going for 2 reasons. Number one, this is how they always do every year. They come out gangbusters, and then about mid-season they start slacking off a little bit. I don't know if it's because they get such good ratings and they think they're hot shots. I don't know or they're just getting tired, or people, getting used to them. Number two, we're in the best league by far in the whole nation. I've been watching other teams in other leagues, and they suck, even the best teams. I mean, compared to SEC teams. I mean, but I am worried about us because our batting, we get on base a lot, but we can't get nobody home. And I just wanted to get you guys' take on what I said, and happy birthday to you, man. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Thank you, Big Keith. I don't see a team that's slacking off. I mean, they went 4-1 this last week against teams that are going to be in the NCAA tournament. They lost 2 in a row coming into the week, but that came after a 10-game winning streak. So I don't know if I see them slacking off. And for all the ideas that they have trouble knocking runs in, they had 2 games this last week where they scored 9 runs. Yeah, they left guys on base against Carolina in Game 1 and Game 2. They didn't have a lot of chance to score Game 1. Plenty of chances in the first game of the doubleheader. 12 hits. They ended up hitting some rockets at a lot of people. Man, sometimes the conversation about baseball goes more towards the things that you worry about, offense, I understand, than the idea that they know how to win baseball games. They won 3 one-run games this last week. They were totally different style games. Slugfest, a little back and forth in the other one, and a low-scoring pitcher's duel in the other. I mean, to me, that says they can win high-scoring games. They've proven that, and they can win the low-scoring games. When you're 34-6, there's a lot more good than there is bad. We'll take a break, and halftime returns right after this.
This is halftime.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Need new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to the Sebastian County Fairgrounds in Greenwood, Saturday, May the 4th and Sunday, May the 5th. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for veterans, military, and active police force. Plus, children 16 and under get in free. On Saturday, the event goes from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com. May the 4th be with you.
Now is a great time to start your career at Simmons. For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Hello, friends. This is Matt Jones from Halftime. Join myself and Phil Elson as we do the show live from Lumber One in Van Buren, Friday, April 26th from 11 to 2, and we celebrate Customer Appreciation Day. Stop by, grab a dog or a burger, talk Razorback sports, check out Lumber One's new showroom, and let's have a good time. That's this Friday, April 26th, Halftime live at Lumber One, 3335 Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
You just ordered Mexican food and you're thinking we need everything to make margaritas. Well, no worries. Uber Eats and DoorDash is now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. It's fast and convenient to get all your beer, wine, and spirits by calling Uber Eats or DoorDash. Four Corks Wine and Spirits has a wide selection of bourbons, whiskey, craft beers, and the coldest imports in town. Stop in the climate-controlled wine cellar for the perfect selection of fine wines, too. Uber Eats and DoorDash now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street toward Ben Garing Park.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas, located at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and 416 North 10th Street in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Overhead Door voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Precision Overhead Door.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios, Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, going to wrap up hour number 2. Quick thought here, though, and a quick question to C-Unit back in our studios. Did you watch the correct Naked Gun this last weekend?
I did. There was a baseball scene. It was hilarious.
Funniest baseball scene of all time?
Gosh. Yes, the things that he has to do, man, just to do his job is insane.
I mean, it's like 90 minutes of straight humor, and it still holds up too. From a movie from 1990 to now, it still holds up, right?
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. I mean, the non-strike call. I mean, when he just was sitting there and
Bring the vacuum cleaner for home plate.
Yes, and then when he had to start calling strikes balls to delay even longer. I mean, that was funny.
So I feel like this could take you down to Leslie Nielsen Road, because he was a very serious actor until a movie called Airplane came out in 1980. Have you seen Airplane?
I don't think so.
Zucker Brothers movie. They also made Naked Gun, the whole series of the Naked Gun. May have to assign Airplane, because to those who are my age, 47, around, a little younger and probably a lot older too, that's a seminal moment movie of slapstick comedy. I know there were slapstick movies before Airplane, but to me, that's kind of where it all started. And Leslie Nielsen plays the doctor on the airplane. I don't even want to start saying the lines to you, because there's like a million of them that are waiting for you to hear. That might be later this week. Maybe that's your halftime homework for this Saturday. We'll see. And also make sure the next time you see Matt Jones in studio, which will be later this week, you got to hand him a birthday card and make sure it's signed by everybody that works at ESPN Arkansas, because that's what we do at Pearson Broadcasting.
He'll have one.
And he's very excited about that thought. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Stay with us. We're into the third hour. No guests, just you and us and the birthday boy and the cat that swiped at his ankle a few times. Halftime returns in a moment.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Yet the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
I'm a waitress, so I know the difference between regular shoes and Skechers slip-resistant work shoes. Skechers slip-resistant work shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta primavera.
Thanks.
While regular shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta prima... And that difference is why I wear Skechers slip-resistant work shoes to keep me safe on my feet. Plus, they're easy to clean and have Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam for comfort throughout my shift. Get America's #1 selling work shoe at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever work shoes are sold.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, after a cold start, we will rebound under sunny skies into the upper 60s to near 70. Not quite as chilly tonight, overnight lows in the mid to upper 40s. And we may see a stray shower, especially across the north on Tuesday, otherwise sunny, breezy, upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Jones, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson with Matt Jones here in the home studio. C-Unit Christian Johnston producing at our ESPN Arkansas headquarters. And everybody that is sending in the lines from the movies Airplane and The Naked Gun. If you want me to be able to make it through the remainder of the show, we've got like 60 minutes left, I can't look at these lines because it's just bringing it all back. So I'm not even going to, I can't even read one of them. B.E., you got to stop. I can't take it any longer. Because those are the two movies. It's like that and Fletch. It's like know every single. If you are a male who's 47 years old, you know all the lines from those movies. Pretty sure of it. All right. Aaron Boone. All right, so the Yankees are playing the Athletics today at Yankee Stadium, a day game in the Bronx. Aaron Boone was ejected after one batter. In the dugout for all of one batter. The ESPN story says he was ejected 5 pitches into the game when the A's leadoff batter, Esteury Ruiz, is hit by a pitch on 0-2, and the pitch clearly plunked Ruiz. The Yankees dugout thought he had swung at it. So Boone, as the story says, communicated his disapproval. That's a nice way of saying, might have shouted out a few obscenities to the plate umpire. And Hunter Wendelstedt communicated his thoughts, saying, you're not yelling at me. He did everything he's supposed to do, and then one pitch later, he's thrown out of the game. Now, Boone had said, it's not me. Apparently, Boone said it was a fan that shouted out at him after the argument and then the next pitch, and Wendelstedt heard what the fan shouted at him. It wasn't Boone, but he threw Boone out of the game, thinking it was him. Rabbit ears.
If you're going to get thrown out of a game on a first pitch, rather it be at home. You know, now you're on the way, on the raid locker room, what's going on at home, you know, quick shower, you can beat the traffic. Get out of there.
A lot of traffic at Yankee Stadium, man. And I don't know if Boone is the guy that's going to take the one train back home. I doubt it. Well, we had an ejection on Friday at Founders Park, and it sounded like this. 1-1 on Holt. Might have hit him. Payton says it hit my jersey. Makes a motion to Mark Winters, hit my jersey, and now he agrees, and here comes Mark Kingston out of the dugout. Kingston's jogging towards Winters, and he's coming out with purpose. He is getting in Winters' face. He's asking, why don't you ask for any help? You could see from here, Mark Winters has just ejected Mark Kingston from the game. And Kingston came out with one thing in mind, and that was to get thrown out. He doesn't have a leg to stand on here. You could hear it. You could hear the pitch hitting Holt's jersey. I don't know what he thinks happened. I don't think he cared what happened either, because he just had designs on getting thrown out of a game. Otherwise, you don't run out of a dugout if you don't think you're going to get thrown out of the game. For your second argument, too, it was the first ejection I've seen this year, and you just don't see ejections very much in college baseball anymore because everything is reviewable except for the strike zone. So all the arguments that used to be about, safer out at first base or a tag play. I mean, there's still some, and I think some of it's based upon obstruction rules that are being enforced differently now. But really, at that point, the argument that the manager would have would be with the people that are back at the replay center in New York. What are you going to do? Fly back to New York and argue with them in order to get thrown out of the game? It doesn't work that way. So after all, I've worked 20 years in the minor leagues, no replays there. You had some really fun ejections in the minor leagues. And it used to be you had some fun ones in college, but not so much anymore. It's one of the only sports, too, where this just kind of happens and you expect it. Like you get your double technical in basketball, you get thrown out. I don't remember hearing about a coach get kicked out of a football game.
Well, the thing is, from baseball to basketball to football, this is why it doesn't happen in football and basketball. It hurts your team. In baseball, it doesn't hurt your team. You get thrown out. You don't lose a guy in the outfield. Every hitter doesn't start the next count with 2 strikes. Football, it's a 15-yard penalty, and in basketball, it's points. So that's why I don't think you see it in others. It's kind of just part of the. It's part of. I mean, you have to get thrown out of a game each year, right? Like at least one. What's Dave Van Horn got? 2 since you've been doing it?
So 10 years, I maybe have seen him get ejected 3 times.
Yeah, he seems like he keeps his cool.
One of them was also like he got thrown out from the dugout and he didn't say anything. You're like, all right, rabbit ears. It's obviously just rabbit ears. Usually you get thrown out of the game when you come out of the dugout. I had a guy named Trent Durrington who played in the big leagues for a little bit, and he was with us with the Travelers in Shreveport, Louisiana. So it was certainly not that he wanted to get back to the hotel quicker, because when you get thrown out of the minor leagues, you're done for the day, and that was not a very nice clubhouse. He got thrown out of a game that he wasn't even playing in. He's screaming about the strike zone from the dugout, and he wasn't not even in the starting lineup. So I guess at that point, it's like, I'm not playing. Screw it. I don't feel like being here right now. I'm going to go start drinking in the clubhouse. I don't think that's what he did, but I think he had some other things that were going on that made him a little bit angry. Yeah. I love the ejection. I love telling this story of Tom Runnels in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Runnels had managed the Expos. He was a big league manager for a short period of time. He's managing Double-A Colorado's Double-A team in Tulsa, and he hated the strike zone that day. He comes out to argue the strike zone. He points into his dugout, motions for somebody to come out. The bat boy runs out. He stops the bat boy with his hand, says, "No, not you, you." And he points to the team trainer. The trainer comes. You can imagine the look on this guy's face as he's being asked to come out by his manager, and no player is injured. And Runnels told the trainer to administer an eye test to the plate umpire on the field. And then he told him to turn him over, bend him over, and check if he's not full of crap too. And he got thrown out for that. It was the most entertaining ejection that I've ever seen in my life. And it took me a while to realize what he was doing. Why else would you bring a trainer out while you're arguing with the plate umpire? It could only be for an eye test, or maybe to ask, do you have some chewing gum to give this guy because his breath stinks. This is my favorite ejection of all time. But look, you're right too. Baseball managers, head coaches, sometimes they'll do this on purpose to fire the team up. I think in Kingston's in Kingston's mind, maybe to fire the crowd up too, but also to make a point. I mean, Musk got thrown out of a game, and I assume at some point you realize I might get thrown out of a game. What does a football coach have to do to get thrown out of a game? Like, you bait balls and strikes with an umpire, you're in the danger zone. You start stomping your feet, coming out of the coach's box, coming on the court in basketball, you're in the danger zone. Football head coach, if you come onto the field, all they're going to do is give you a 15-yard penalty. I've never heard of a football coach getting thrown out of a game.
Woody Hayes for punching a player, you remember that
But
one?
I don't know if he was thrown out or if he was just fired, the next day for it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I can't either. That's to your point. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't remember one either.
Jeremy in Tulsa is here on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Hi, Jeremy. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. How are you guys this Monday?
Great, thank you.
Good. A couple things, and then, Phil, I want to ask you a question. Maybe I'll say something, ask a question, then another statement, but it shouldn't take very long. Phil, one of my favorite things to do on a Friday evening when I get off work at 5 o'clock is, say the game starts at 6, turn your pregame on to at 5:30, get ready for the game, get my weekend going. I mean, I hop on pretty early, so I'm used to the countdown, T-minus 2 minutes till airtime. So I've got that memorized pretty well.
So you hear when
so
they give that 15-second countdown and then it goes quiet. Did I lose my connection?
Yep. 30-second countdown, 15-second countdown. But question for you, Phil, and then I'd like to make a statement. Which do you prefer? So you call the doubleheader Saturday. Do you like, say, maybe calling 2 games, albeit a busy day on Saturdays, and getting Sunday off? Or do you prefer just the Friday, Saturday, Sunday slate?
I would not have been able to spend the day with my kids yesterday if we didn't have a doubleheader. So, because we would have gotten back too late and on Sunday, and so for that reason, I was pretty thankful that they had a doubleheader. And look, I've done so many doubleheaders in the minor leagues alone, but those are 7-inning games. So it's 14 innings. Adding another 5 innings onto it, or adding another 4 innings onto it, you can feel it. You can feel it, but it's fine. If I sound ever like I don't have a lot of energy, trust me, I've got energy for a doubleheader broadcast. I can pull that off. But for the team, I'm sure they were really happy getting yesterday to not have to play and get like a legitimate day off. No practice, no classwork, nothing to worry about, just a day to lounge around, rest. And after playing 5 games in 5 days last week, I think it's a good thing for the team.
No, I agree. And, you spoke on your perspective and the team perspective. And to be selfish from a fan perspective, the doubleheader was nice because when we lost game 1, I didn't have to go to bed and wait for the next day to see who was going to win the rubber match. We got to kick it off in, an hour later. So that was good. Also, I want to speak to the bats. A lot of people are, freaking out about the bats. I think our bats are going to be just fine. I mean, we're still in April. Would we rather peak week 6, 7 of the conference series and maybe plateau out towards the playoffs? Or, kind of like 2022, if my memory serves me correctly, I think we lost our last 2 series. I know we lost the last series to Alabama. We went to Hoover, lost the first 2 games in Hoover to Alabama and to Florida, and then got some time off, got a little bit of a break, and then our bats picked up right in the regional. I was at the OSU game. I think we hit 7 home runs, and they, did good for the rest of the season. So, I was listening to Robert Moore talk a little bit this past week, and, he had mentioned one of the biggest key things in baseball is being healthy at the right time and getting hot at the right time. So I think we're healthy for the most part, being, 10 weeks into the season or however long we've been playing. But I think we'll pick it up. I think we have the talent. We definitely have the pitching to make a deep run. So I just think everybody needs to take a step back. And myself included, take the hog goggles off. We're 34-6 overall and 14-4 in conference, ranked number 2 in the country. What else do you want? You don't want to be number 1. That little plague that's gone on with the number 1 teams. So I think we're sitting good. Phil, Matt, I'll turn it back over to you guys. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk soon.
Jeremy, I appreciate the phone call and your perspective too. And look, I understand people being nervous and worried about the offense because it is difficult to win games if you scored 2 or 3 runs. This is a team that can win those kind of games, but they can also win 6-2. And if they scored 6 runs, you'd feel really good about things. But I also think that at this point, they've played 40 games. I don't think we keep hearing they're going to come around. They're going to come around. I think coming around is probably something like scoring 5 to 7 runs. But with this pitching staff, that'll work. That can work. And look, they're not going to go. I doubt they go undefeated in the postseason once they get there. They're going to lose a game or two somewhere along the line in June. Yes, probably. That's the sport. National champions lose in the postseason sometimes. Will it be because of the lineup? There's potential of that. There's no doubt there's potential of that. The crazy thing is that you're getting no production from your outfield for a good chunk of the season, and yet you're still 34-6. What this is telling me is it's a team that's used to playing in tight ball games. However a fan might feel during a game based upon what the score is, I don't think that affects the guys in the dugout very much. They're just kind of consistent in their approach and in their emotion, or maybe lack thereof at times. Like, I feel that emotion up in the booth when you're down 2-0 in the sixth inning and you haven't really scored at all and you've left a bunch of guys on base. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to pull it off today. But you know what? In the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings, they have been able to pull it off. So I just try to look at the record. I know a lot of folks are looking at what will be their undoing or what they think will be their undoing somewhere down the line. Last year it was injuries. It was the pitching, yes, but it was injuries that did them in last year. Nothing has to do this team in, truthfully. Because when you have that kind of pitching, when you have this kind of defense, you've got the things that a lot of other teams really would drool over, even those teams that score 7 to 8 runs a game. I'm not trying to tell you this is a perfect baseball team. They're not. But I think they're better than last year. I think that they are a more complete team than 2021, the team that won every single series going into the postseason. This is a more complete team than that, and it's because of the pitching. So, yeah, we all deserve to have our concerns. I'm not just trying to assuage them because maybe that is the thing that does them in. But it's a really good baseball team. I'm enjoying watching them, and like Eddie said, I'm enjoying the ride. It's been a fun season, and even the rest of the regular season, I think, is going to be really a lot of fun and a high level baseball. Like, look this weekend, and I know you get the game at Dickey Stevens tomorrow, and we'll break in a moment here, Christian. This weekend, you're going to have 2 players on Friday that are going to be picked in the top 10 of the draft. I mean, picks 1 through 10. When Hagen Smith pitches to Jack Caglione, there's not going to be a more exciting batter-pitcher matchup in the entire nation for the entire season. I mean, every single baseball game played across the country in college, there won't be more people talking about Hagen Smith against Jack Caglione, because those guys are going to face each other here. They're going to face each other in the major leagues. They're both top 10 picks this season. That's the kind of stuff I get fired up about. Oh, no, yeah. I expect the Hogs to win the series, too. Stay tuned. More halftime in just a moment.
This is Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Back in Dave Van Horn's playing days, what walk-up song would you walk out to going to the batter's box?
Do I have to use music from the 70s and early 80s?
Anything you want. The floor is yours.
Back then, it was probably REO Speedwagon, wasn't it?
That'd be a good one. Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on remaining 2023 Buick Envisions. Or choose up to $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision, it's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 7. $1,979.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Got the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I am a mind erase. Anything goes. Yeah. Anything goes. Feeling I pray, but she ain't gonna see me again. See me again. This I know.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
For those who hear that liner, you might think, oh, that means there's going to be an announcement about some transfer coming in for men's basketball. No, it's just a liner because we talk a lot of basketball, even though the season's over for obvious reasons. But yeah, still, as of now, Zvonimir Ivisic is the only Razorback commit for John Calipari. Apparently, he learned how to call the Hogs at softball the other day.
Welcome the newest member of the Razorback men's basketball team to Fayetteville. Yeah. Let's please welcome 7'2" forward from Croatia, Zvonimir Ivisic. Let's join Big T and show him how we call those calls.
I think you'd have heard it when Kentucky came to Fayetteville this year. It's a little bit different when they're doing it for you for the first time. I wonder what the folks in Croatia think about a hog call. Going to be something just a little bit different coming from Croatia. Let's see, got some questions to get to here as far as baseball is concerned. A lot of questions about baseball. Asking about Dylan Carter and Hunter Dietz. Both were on the trip. I think only Carter was on the travel roster, but didn't pitch. Dietz, he had a clean MRI. He's fine. I just think they want to rest him and not try to get him to do something if he's not necessarily ready for it right now. So I don't know how much they'll rely on Dietz for right now, but if he feels good, and I think it's more about how he feels, if he's feeling good or not, then that's still an arm that can be helpful coming out of the bullpen in Hoover and in the NCAA tournament. You never know. It's like I remember as a freshman, Matt Cronin was just a guy in the back of the pen that didn't really think too much about until I'd say it was May in 2017, started to see him pitch a little bit more. Like, all right, this kid's got some stuff. And then he turned into the ace reliever for the next 2 years. Dietz can be somebody that is just like that. Eric asked about transfer hitters regressing at the plate and is blaming it strictly on it. He says he wants to blame it strictly on SEC pitching, but several transferred from SEC programs. Yeah, I don't know the deal with Wilmsmeyer and Lovich as far as their hitting is concerned, because they're not putting the same kind of numbers up that they did at Missouri last year. Part of this may have a little to do. I thought about this. What was the name of the kid for South Carolina? Petrie. Hogs just seem to have a knowledge of how to pitch to him. Petrie has great numbers this year, really good numbers. Just the Hogs scout him really well, and they've got the kind of pitcher that can really even get a good hitter out if you execute the plan. Wilmsmeyer's been around in the SEC. This is his fourth year playing, fifth year overall, and Lovich his fourth year. So it's almost a sense of, is the book out on them? Can they adjust to the way that teams are pitching to them? I feel the same way about like a T.J. McCants, who's in center field for Alabama and was in center field for Ole Miss for most of the previous 3 years. His SEC numbers this year stink. They don't make much sense for a guy that was part of a national championship team and had really good non-conference numbers, but in the SEC, they seem to know how to pitch to him. The Hogs, I think, know how to pitch to him. They've always had success against him. So the scouting may have part to do with it, and everybody wants to blame Nate Thompson. I mean, that's where that's where I think a lot of the blame is being laid on social media, on the hitting coach specifically. So I mean, I'm not about to lay the blame on Nate. He's responsible for getting a lot of these guys to campus, and he was there when Heston Kjerstad kind of helped him turn into the hitter that he's turned into. Diggs last year, the kind of season he had last year, he was great last year. He's regressed this year, but I think it has more to do with his shoulder hurting him than anything else. Peyton Stovall, he looks like the kind of hitter that was expected to be. Does Nate get any credit for that, or are we just gonna blame him for leaving a bunch of guys on base? I mean, you can coach somebody like Jason Jones. You can try to help him with approach. You can try to help him to stay off of the slider if you know it's coming, but it has to be executed too. So, I mean, it's the same. It's not necessarily the same conversation as during football season. With when all the blame was going on Dan Enos, that felt different because football's a game with set plays and offense. Baseball, not so much. And it felt like in the football season, you're practicing things that didn't get put into practice in games. I mean, I'm seeing guys take a two-strike approach quite a bit. They don't strike out very much. This is not a team that strikes out much. In previous years, they've struck out over 9 or 10 times a game. I think it's about at 6.5 or 7 times a game now. We'll blame Nate Thompson for all the strikeouts, but for a team that's putting the ball in play and winning 34 of 40 games, does he get some credit for them putting the ball in play and creating action in some moments. I guess there's always blame to be laid, and that's the direction that a lot of folks go sometimes, which is okay. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that continues to serve you in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, and been doing it for over 70 years. Right beside the Cracker Barrel. You're making your plans for the summer, and you want an RV trip. Crabtree RV will help your family choose the right RV for your adventures. Service and parts department on site, and everything you need in between. Crabtree RV, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. Let Crabtree RV get your spring started in the right direction at CrabtreeRV.com. Stay with us. More birthday wishes to Matt Jones, and we're into the home stretch. Halftime back in just a moment.
This is Halftime.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas.
Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Yeah, that will make me feel I ought to be loving anyone who takes offense at a day in your celebration. We all know in our minds that there ought to be a time that we can set aside to show just how much we love you. And I'm sure you would agree, what could be more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you can be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I see your boy Scotty Scheffler continued to just kind of dominate. long time. As far as steroids, I don't know, but I'm assuming so because, everybody's tested.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at all these runs that Texas A&M is putting up. Are they that good?
At this point, I don't think they're flukes. I don't think they're flukes this late in a baseball season. Yes, I think A&M is as good as their record shows.
Okay, I'll leave my conspiracy theory there. But anyway.
What is your... No, I want to hear this. What is your theory?
No, I'm just, if something's going on down in College Station with all these runs being scored.
Oh, I see where you were going there. So all these questions kind of coalesce around the same idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to buy into that. I think that they're probably just drinking milk and doing protein shakes.
Whatever you say, Phil.
I
appreciate it, man.
A lot of steak too. As much protein as possible. Am I right about that?
They got a nice chow hall, man. They got a lot of money in A&M. I bet it's first class everywhere they go.
I'm sure it is. They are putting up the kind of numbers that.
Are they like Florida last year when it comes to hitting, or are they better? Because Florida, you said last year was the best hitting team in the SEC. So A&M's the best hitting team this year.
Tennessee is kind of at a point where it's tough to get it past them. They have a really frightening lineup and already 111 home runs. Yeah, A&M isn't quite that powerful, but they work the count. They scare pitchers out of the strike zone. They got power both sides of the plate. They're a really complete team. A&M is, and that's who Arkansas finishes the regular season with. These next 4 weeks. Look, these next 4 weeks, they're not going to decide the way the season goes. I've talked with Bub about this, and he didn't really want to get into it too much because he's superstitious, because he's an athlete still. But what you're trying to do, it's the same idea as we bring up in the college basketball season. You're just trying to get the best seed you can going into the tournament. Yeah, you're playing the team that's in front of you, scouting the team that's in front of you, play the schedule, and you're trying to win a division, and you're trying to win a regular season title, and just win games. But you're really trying to get, in the grand scheme of it, if your season, if you feel how you feel based upon what you did in March in basketball, it's the same with baseball in June. You're just trying to make sure that you're playing as many games at home that you possibly can, which means you have to be a top 8 national seed. If you want to be a top 8 national seed in the Southeastern Conference, you need to win at least 18 league games. You win 18 in this league, I think especially this year, you're probably going to be top 8. You win a division, there's no doubt you're a top 8. Like 2 years ago, when the Razorbacks led the West Division going into the final weekend and lost 2 out of 3 to Alabama, ended up finishing in second place. One more win, I'm telling you, they'd have been a top 8. Or not a top 8, they would have at least played at home in the regional with a top 16. Didn't happen, weren't a top 8. I think they need 6 more wins in the regular season against SEC teams. That's out of 12 played. I'm not telling you want to be a 500 team. That's not the mindset at all. That's not the way they're looking at it. I don't think anybody in the dugout, I don't think any of the coaches are like, how many games do we need to win to be top 8? I'm looking at it that way. 6 more. 6 more means you win 20 and lose 10. That's what they did last year. Or no, it wasn't last year. It wasn't last year. It was a couple years ago. Win 20, lose 10. You're in a position where you play at home. And at home, they're 27-1. Don't worry about what happens in Omaha. This team, actually, they're built for that ballpark. That ballpark, Omaha, is huge. This is not a team that relies on the home run very much. This is a team that will need, in that ballpark, in the College World Series, you can win a game with 3 or 4 runs. And Carolina's park kind of played like that this last weekend. It played like a pitcher's park, even though it's got hitter's park distances. This you got to get to Omaha for that to matter. But this is a team that is kind of built to win in a place like the Chuck. Jason in Frankfurt is next on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Hi, Jason. What's up?
Hey, I'm doing okay. You have observed as much Razorback baseball in the last several years than anyone. Let me ask you this, because you know how Dave Van Horn operates most of the time. At any point, do you ever foresee anyone else getting the start in right field other than Kendall Diggs? Or is he just so loyal and the defense is so valuable out there that he just kind of he's an anchor out there?
No, Diggs is the one guy that will be the starting outfielder every game. And look, he had a couple of doubles in the last ball game. I know Dave said he thought he swung the bat really well Friday and Saturday. The numbers might not necessarily show it, but he saw better at-bats, a better swing, and just the fact that his last 2 at-bats ended up with doubles and hit the ball hard twice. Diggs is the hitter more than anybody in this lineup. He was the big RBI man last year. If he does even a little more of an uptick from what he's been doing, things change offensively for this team. With men on base and Diggs at bat, if he's feeling healthy and feeling good about things, which I think he might now, then things can change a little bit because he can be a really dynamic run producer, and there shouldn't be anybody else in right field. And I don't know if look, I think Dave's done everything he possibly can do to test on this whole outfield thing. I mean, look at the last week. Peyton Holt started in right field, left field, and center field. And Ross Lovich started in right field and left field. And Will Edmondson started in right field and left field. And Ty Wilmsmeyer started in center field and then was on the bench and came in to play center field in the last couple of innings in a couple of games. They've tried everything out there. Everything. Kendall Diggs is the one guy that I don't think will come out of the lineup as far as the outfield is concerned.
Fair enough. I just see all the strikeouts, and I'm sure Dave's is as frustrated or more frustrated than me. But, I wish him the best. I'm not looking to see, I just am curious on what you observe. So
I think the strikeouts, Jason, I think they had a lot more to do with shoulder pain that he wasn't telling anybody about. Like Bubba and I would look at each other as like, you know what? He just swung and missed at a pitch that he crushed last year. Something's not quite right. It's not a mental thing. It was a physical thing. And the anti-inflammatories, the rest last week, pretty big. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs doesn't play tomorrow at Dickey Stevens just to keep that shoulder rested for the games this weekend. So, but I hope he's back to hitting those pitches that he was missing earlier because they were pitches he crushed in 2023.
Too. They're going to need his bat in Kentucky. So I'm looking forward to that Derby weekend. You take care, okay?
All right, thanks, Jason. I hope to see you in Kentucky. That's right. Jason said he would be there when the Razorbacks do play there. All right, we got to wrap things up in just a moment. It's halftime. We'll wrap it up right after this.
This is halftime.
It's spring cleaning sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Savings from 50 to 75% off on select clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing equipment, casual clothing, hunting clothing, work clothing for men, women, and children, work boots, safety shoes, western boots, all 50 to 75% off. Rods, reels, baits, hunting equipment, all 50 to 75% off. Select group of handguns, rifles, and shotguns in the firearms department at cost or below. Don't miss the big spring cleaning sale at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Are you in a constant battle with mosquitoes outside your house? Well, stop smacking yourself in the face and call Mosquito Joe. Whether it's playing ball with the kids or cooking out with friends, Mosquito Joe treatments allow you to enjoy your yard without the nuisance of pesky mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. No more itching and no more wasting time on smelly bug sprays that don't work. Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com or call 479-202-9960 to get more information and a free quote. With Mosquito Joe, outside is fun again.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Wits Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Wits Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, let's wrap things up here. We got a phone call from Joe, who is somewhere in northwest Arkansas, or north central Arkansas. I'm going to make sure I give your double direction correct here, Joe. Joe is on the McClarty Daniel hotline. What's up, Joe?
Yes. I don't care what happens. The Razorbacks are very good. But I'm a Major League Baseball fan, and I was it was in the early 60s. I'm at Comiskey with the Lions Club. There's a bunch of us. And one of the guys hollers, "Hey kids, come on down here. So we go down there, and they introduced me to a guy named Dizzy Dean.
Oh, wow.
60, and I didn't get an autograph or anything. But I'm in my 70s, and I've watched 2 World Series for the Southsiders, and I don't think we're going to make it this year, are we?
No, I guess people are nervous they may move to Nashville at some point. There's like 10 people in the stands for White Sox game. They've lost 18 of the first 21, and I know Reinsdorf doesn't like the ballpark anymore. He wants a new one, and Nashville wants a ballpark and a baseball team. So who knows how much longer Chicago's going to be a 2-team town?
Well, I don't know, but we need to get rid of Reinsdorf and keep the White Sox in Chicago, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's tough to get rid of an owner unless they, say something racist or sexually harass somebody. That's the way that I've heard of some ownerships being taken over. But as far as Reinsdorf is concerned, I have a feeling that he'll be able to own that team until the very end.
Well, I mean, he's probably pretty old, isn't he?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure, but I don't know what his situation with his family is. But yeah, it's a tough year for the White Sox and their fans. I saw a photo from a doubleheader they played a few days ago, and Joe, thanks for the phone call. It literally looked like there were 12 people in the stands at a major league game. But, hey, you got that going on with the White Sox. You got that going on with Oakland right now. And, oh, by the way, the Pirates have really fallen back to earth. Didn't even take the month. All right, Matt, very happy birthday to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well done handling the cat today.
We're buddies.
She's just looking at you a little bit weird. The way she's kind of staring. Is that a Ric Flair meow? It's kind of like that. I think so.
She's got the Ric Flair color going on. I mean, that's the fur that he walks out to, the nature boy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the nature girl. That's exactly right. All right, we're going to be at the Clinton Library tomorrow while Matt Jones gets to talk a lot of soccer with his people at Little Rock Rangers, who are with you tomorrow for another day of halftime. For Matt Jones, for the C Unit, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Hello, friends. This